Hey y'all, I'm finishing up the drip irrigation and I wanted to share it with you all since I had to change some stuff up. So, keep watching. All right, let me make sure everything's in the viewfinder. All right, so I have my good scissors still, but I'm not gonna need these because I pre-cut all of my tubing. Yeah, I pre-cut all of my tubing so I could soak it in the hot water. Oh man, some of it had came out, but I'm using this to kind of make the tube stay in there, but I have to be more, make sure that they stay in there. I'm careful to make sure they do. So anyway, I'm putting this back in here while I do this one tube with y'all. All right, so I'm down to just 2 of these spikes that I need to add for the side garden. So I'm gonna add this to this. Now one change is I stopped using my thumb so much because I was using my thumb to do like this and go all the way to the base of this spike, so to here. But my thumb was numb after the second time I was doing this, which was yesterday. So I took a break from doing this. So now I'm trying to do it from the side. Anyway, today I was doing it and my thumb actually started bleeding. My nail also cracked on this side and my thumb was bleeding along the edge. So now I'm using these needle nose pliers. Any pliers would probably work, but I'm using that to wiggle it on. I mean, it's still hard and tedious, but I'm not putting that pressure on my thumb to damage my thumb. And this is why I'm not really looking forward to doing the other side of my garden, but I do want to do it, but now, what I do already have outside, I've been using it and it's been so great to have that and not have to, it's been so great to not have to water the areas that are covered by the drip irrigation system. Now I do have 2 soaker hoses that I'm using in the flower bed and the melon bed, and I'll insert pictures of that. I used it for the melon bed because it wasn't practical to try to put these spikes in there because it's so hard to access. And then I used it for the flower bed because it's so far away. It was easier just to connect that. It was easier just to extend the soaker hose little connection to the flower bed. Now this can work. You can use this to go out far. It's just a matter of how much tubing you have. And I have enough. I have a whole thing I haven't used, so I have enough, but now that my thumb is messed up, I want to do as much as I can with the soaker hose. So all the raised beds are probably going to have, all the raised beds on the ground are probably going to have soaker hoses. As you can see, this is still a tedious. Oh man, I think I may have, let me make sure I don't, it's a cut in there. So I'm gonna have to redo this. See, this is the risk of doing this. So that's the first time I've done it though. So I'm gonna try to get this off. I saw this little hole forming and that's why I'm taking it off. And actually, just to show you all something to get this over with, I'm gonna just do, I know this is another change. I also started using the zip ties. I started using the zip ties because I'm not able to get it on as far. So watch this slide on. These pieces are much better than the ones that came with the kit that I've been using. You saw that came on so easy. And that was with my thumb, but not pressing like this. And so now I'm going to use a zip tie since I cut that sideways. And I'm not taking it off, so I'm going to do a zip tie. Since it did make it over the first bump. And just tighten it all the way. And cut that off. All right, let me soak that part of the hose. I did also get a kit with all the pieces I was talking about. I knew there were other pieces. Now I did find some of the other pieces, but I didn't find a lot of them. So I got this kit because it has more of these pieces. And these pieces are actually easier to get the hose on. All right, so I'm gonna try to get this on again. See, yeah, now this is how I've generally been doing, a lot easier than what I was just doing, where it go all the way down without getting any holes in there. So got that one on. And I only have one left. So I have this hose that was not in the water. And I'm gonna connect this to, oh wait a minute. Wait a minute, how many do I have left? So I have this, oh, maybe I took that out. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, yeah, this is the last one. Oh, I think I used the wrong tube. I was supposed to use the longer tube. Oh, man. I'm just gonna do an extra one. So I'll put that on there and it slides. See how that slides so easy? Now I can use this to wiggle that on, but it's past the first hump, so that's good enough for me with the zip tie to hold it in place. All right, now cut that off. All right, I'm gonna need another little piece since I'm adding an additional spike. Put that in the water. All right, I lost the end. I have 2 spikes left now since I added that. So I'm gonna add the one that had been in here. Put that back in there. Although the water is cooling down, it's still hot. Shoot. Anyway. So this slides on so much easier now. Ugh, that hurt. Trying to make sure I don't do anything that's gonna hurt my thumb. So that, and then I can whoops. But it's past the first hump and my hand hurt, so I'm just going to use another zip tie. Off the excess. All right, then I have, oh man, I should have had this in the water, but let me see if I can get it on. And it's going on well enough. That went all the way on. I wish they all did like that. And I was just with the side of my thumb instead of pressing like I was forward with my thumb. That's what messed my thumb up. So anyway, last tubing. Now this is to connect to the flower basket. So I'm using a longer. See how easy that's going on sometimes? And that's far enough for me. I'm just making sure I'm going behind that hump that it went over, because these have 2 humps that it's going over. I'll show you. So it has this small hump. That's the one that it first goes over. I'm trying to get it over this too, but since it's not easy to do that, I'm just putting the zip tie in this area. All right, so this is gonna be the last one. And it's going to connect to the L. That one has to go all the way since it's so little. But see how easy that was? Sometimes it's so easy, but other times it's a nightmare. All right, so this is the last piece for the side garden. Oh Lord, that hurt. All right, that went on similarly easily. And then this, let me cut that. Since it's not a flat edge, I'm gonna cut it. So I gotta get that up before my dogs try to find that and eat it. I'll put it in the water. All right, and so I'm gonna finish this, and then I am going to show later, and this I'm gonna include in this video some footage of the actual installation, and it's not pretty because I'm doing stuff indoors and just kind of guesstimating how far it should be apart. They should be apart, and I really prefer them to be too long than too short. So generally, they're all too long, but I can fix it in the. I can fix it when it's cooler. All right, so I'll go ahead and put this, and hopefully this is gonna slide on easily. Almost. It would have if the water was hotter, but it's been sitting here. So I'm gonna try with the pliers and try not to damage the hose in the process. What I was doing was flattening. Oh man, I just messed it up. Let me cut that off. And I'm gonna soak it again. Whew, I'm tired. All right, I think this was in the water. It may not have been. Let's see if this goes on. All right, it went on pretty easy. Not as easy as all of them, but easy enough. So I'm gonna look through and see if I should add any more zip ties. I'm gonna move this out the way. It's not scalding hot, but it's still hot. I don't want to spill it. Yeah, I think I'll add the zip ties to this one. Anyway, I think I've got everything, and I'm gonna go test it out actually in the garden. Y'all, seriously, look at this cantaloupe. It is taking over this area. So next year, if I grow cantaloupe in this same area, which I'm not sure, but if I do, I'm not gonna use a shade cloth. I'm gonna start it earlier, and I'm probably not gonna use a shade cloth. But anyways, I was just gonna show a little bit of how this is connected. I have one of my hoses here, that light green one, or lime green. And then I have that Y-shaped connector, and then to the left is the soaker hose, which is in there with this is the melon bed. So I just kind of got that in there however I could. And then these are the drip irrigation tubes coming off. Man, I thought I was recording. I wasn't recording, but so I'm gonna try to go back over this real quick. It is super hot out here, but I wanted to show where if I have everything connected. The thing is still leaking. So, but I have on the left side that goes to the soaker hose that is inside of the melon bed, and it goes further over to the flower bed. And I have a soaker hose in the flower bed as well. Now on the right side, I have the drip irrigation, and that connection is also leaking. I was using this. I took this off because it was leaking. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to fix that so it won't leak. But at least that is going inside the melon bed, mostly. I'll fix it to completely go into the melon bed so it won't be wasted water. Anyway, I have these grow bags connected to it, where my cucumber here in the front, and then my potatoes in those 2 bags back there. I just connected the random bed. I have my mess here still, but I'm gonna clean that up before I leave. Now it is looking very chaotic, but this can all be fixed later. It can even be moved later, so I'm really excited to have this system, and you know, so I won't have to worry about manually watering. So anyway, in the random bed, I just kind of put them as wherever I could, try to cover the whole bed. And these down here are leaking water, but the ones I have outside of the raised bed, the random bed, aren't working. So like I put one in the blueberry, it's not working. The one in the tomatillo also isn't working. And then that last cord that the long cord that I added to go in the flower basket, it also isn't working. So I don't know if it's because it's just too long or these things are elevated. I'm gonna have to, you know, add a tube for these separately. I do have an extra tube I can use. The 4th one that I have on here is connected to one of these. I have connected to those spikes that I put in the melon bed. But I don't really need those since I have the soaker hose in there. But anyways, it is super hot. I just wanted to see how the system works. It's working except for these 3 at the end. So here's the other side of the melon bed where I have it connected to this metal hose. It's a short metal hose, and then I have another soaker hose. Now these flowers are doing horrible, and I'm just gonna probably just go ahead and take them out to make room for something else. Flowers or vegetables, I'm not sure yet. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Hey y'all, I am finishing with the drip irrigation, and I wanted to share this part with you all since I had to change things up. I hope I was looking at the camera. Anyway, all right. So hey y'all, I am, oh shit.